Hello, and welcome to another episode of Hi, I'm Jason with Jason Pollock. I am not Jason. Join Jason and Justin back in the green room as they talk with some of their favorite folks from the entertainment industry. And now, the man you haven't been waiting for, Jason Pollock.
Hi, I'm Jason. Hi, Melissa.
Hi, Jason. How are you?
Great. Thanks for being here. I know the people watching are used to Justin's face next to me, but
Yeah, but look at this.
I'm sure they're pleasantly surprised by the eye candy. You're so much better looking than him.
Well, thank you, and thank you for having me back on again.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Thanks for taking the time.
Of course, this is a lot of fun.
Oh, well, we have an incredible guest that I can't wait to talk to. I don't know if you're a fan of Dr. Hook, but I knew a few songs, and I've been listening to them all week since I found out he was coming on. The drummer of Dr. Hook, Mr. J. David. Let's bring him out.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
Jay. How you doing?
I'm fine, Melissa. How you doing?
Good. Thanks for joining us today.
Oh, you're welcome, Jason. Hey.
Hey, it's so funny. I was watching it, and I don't know how I've missed this band. I know some of the songs, but then I've been watching the videos on YouTube, and you guys were so much fun.
Yeah.
You just looked like you were having a blast.
Yeah, we for the most part we were, making stuff up as we went along, because when we had our first hit, which was Sylvia's Mother, what we basically did was we sniveled for about 3 minutes and 30 seconds, you know what I mean? And just crying our eyes out. And so the people thought that's who we were. And then we came out with the cover of the Rolling Stone. Now that really confused the issue. They didn't know who are these guys, So, we've done everything from, played naked in front of a crowd of naked people. To going on stage as our own opening act, wearing different clothes. We got booed off the stage, and you got to have some fun. You got to have some fun with this stuff.
So you were like a comedy troupe as well as musicians. It's fantastic.
Yeah. It's we were to me we were more like the Coasters than we were by anybody else. I'll tell you a little story. I'll tell you a story if I can.
Please.
Okay. We got an audition for Clive Davis at the Big Black Rock and CBS in Manhattan. So we went up to, I think it was like the 90th floor or 80th floor and stuff. And Clive was waiting there with one of his vice presidents, and they marched us down the hallway, and we made a left turn into a what looked like a small hall with a stage, and all the instruments were set up on it, and 2 seats. And these 2 guys, Kip Cohen, that's who the vice president was. And so Clive and Kip were going to decide whether we had a future in the music business or not. They were just going to sit there and listen. So I realized if these guys, they're taking us much too seriously. So I I asked Clive, I said, where's your office? He said, right across the hall. So I turned around and walked across the hall and walked into his office. And he had a beautiful, like an 8-foot marble desk, beautiful looking thing. So I picked up his trash can and turned it over and played his trash can on his desk. And Dennis and Ray played 2 acoustic guitars, and George and Billy danced, and we signed a deal that day. Yeah.
You sold after that. That's great.
Oh yeah, we were good, but I mean, if these guys listen to Chicago and he's listening to Blood, Sweat and Tears, he's listening to all these big bands and doing all this stuff, and we would have been killed. They would have thrown us out on our butts. Get out of here, you bums.
You were a talent. It worked though. You were such a talented band.
Yeah, well,
Just
it did, but it took time to. The genesis of what happened in the band and what it wound up turning into, I had already left by that time. But we were having a good time, having a real good time.
And it shows in your concerts.
Oh, thanks. Yeah, thank you. We made quite a few videos, and even the videos changed. You know, the band changed after 3 albums. I left the band and then put a band together with David Crosby, and we toured until Crosby's hobby got him busted in Dallas, and
His hobby.
and yeah, so I was the only witness to that bust. So, and the reason I'm relating these stories to y'all now is because I'm writing my autobiography, and because I played with Brenda Lee back before Dr. Hook. I played
Wow.
with Benny King before Brenda Lee. I
Whoa.
played Dan Hicks in a Hot Licks After Crosby.
Were you a session drummer?
I was, yeah, I was. That's how I got the offer to come be the drummer for Dr. Hook. They had a local kid, and it apparently wasn't working out for him. So yeah,
You blended really well with the band, though. I mean, it just, you had the look. You had it looked. If I didn't know, I would watch the one video of the cover of Rolling Stone and think, "Oh my God, it's the Manson family."
yeah, yeah, exactly. That's why people would see us and they put their hands up, you know. Oh Lord, but yeah, it was the right time for all that stuff.
Oh yeah, all the bands seemed like they had fun. The Mothers of Invention, for one, just had they all also had the crazy look.
Yeah, we played on the same bill with the Mothers. Well, Frank Zappa. And then we played for a couple of weeks with the Grandmothers, which was the original Mothers of Invention that Frank fired. And so that they called themselves the Grandmothers, Jimmy Carl Black.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bunk Gardner and all those guys. And we had a great time together. Great time. You know, with certain bands we had a great time with. Black Oak, Arkansas. We would hang out with those guys. They had a wine cellar stashed underneath their bus. You know, it was crazy. The buses were wonderful in those days. It was like a womb with a view, you know. And
the big tour buses.
Oh yeah, man. Oh yeah, those were great.
You lived the rock star life for a long time. Yes.
Say what?
It's like a mansion on wheels. I mean, they're beautiful inside.
Oh yeah, they are. Yeah, they are. I'll tell you another story if you don't mind.
Please.
Okay. All right. Well, it was New Year's Day. No, it wasn't. It was a couple of days before New Year's Eve. And we were coming from New Jersey through the Holland Tunnel. And we had we were doing a whole lot of substances in those days.
Stop it. In the 60s? Are you kidding?
I know. I know. Yeah, I've read a lot about drugs, you know. So here we are, and we're doing lines on the bus. And as part of the deal, we had Burt Reynolds' bus. And so these big stars would buy them from a place in Michigan that would tear them completely inside, and then they drive them down to Florida, and a company called Florida Coach would then build them to specifications for the people that bought the bus. This happened to be Burt Reynolds' bus, and it said Burt Reynolds on the front of it, you know, but it was the David Crosby band, and that was a band not to be trifled with, you know. It was amazing. But anyway, here we are doing lines. And they, as part of the service, they would give us the top 10 movies of the week in video cassette, because those were the days of video cassettes, you know, Beta and VHS, and the top 3 porn videotapes of the week or the month or whatever it was. So here we are doing lines, drinking champagne, watching a porn flick on the TV, and we're going through the Holland Tunnel, and I look over and I see about 50 really pissed off commuters, you know, standing on the bus looking like, oh man, you know, if I could call the cops on these people, I would. You know, it was crazy. It really was crazy, but I loved it.
That's great.
Yeah. So, you know, I got all these stories that are all going in the book.
They need to be told. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. They do. They do. I mean, we're left with our stories. Music will last, but our stories, I hope, too, will last.
At least until the sun supernovas and we're all forgotten. But until then, you got to share these stories. So they get
Yeah, till we all look like French fries. Right?
are you still drumming?
Not really. I retired from drumming. Well, I retired from touring first, and then I pulled it back, and I do a one-man show. And in my one-man show, I do some drumming, but not. I have COPD now, so I don't have the lung capacity to go for any length of time. So, but I do have a one-man show that I do, and I think it's on Facebook too. And it was about the only time I was ever a wedding band drummer, and that's a crazy story in and of itself. But
was that after
the one-man show about? I mean, outside of the drumming, what other things did you do within the show?
Well, what I did was I related a story, and the story was when. Okay, I'll tell you if you'd like to hear it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. In 1965, I had just come back from Greenland, from the country of Greenland, on a USO tour for a month, and I was playing at a club in New York City on West 45th Street called the Wagon Wheel. Now, the Wagon Wheel is a club. Let's see, which story was I telling you? Which story was I telling us?
The one-man show.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
What one-man show was.
Okay,
sure, I'm showing my age too.
Oh, you remember the Wagon Wheel, do you? So anyway, one night this guy comes up to me. This club was owned by the mob, and so one night this guy comes up to me and he says, "My boss wants to talk to you." And I thought, "Oh Lord, what have I done?"
Uh-oh.
And so he says, "Come on outside." I come outside with this huge guy, bull neck, and there's a limo outside, and the window goes down, and it's this guy that was the head of the meat packing local. And you got to know, in 1965, the meat packing local, if you didn't play ball with these guys, you didn't get a hamburger, man. You know, and they were selling to all the restaurants and all of those people. And so everybody called.
I'm going to interrupt you real quick, just so we have some comments asking who is the guest. I just want to let people know that we're talking live with Jay David, former drummer of Dr. Hook, and David Crosby, and he's talking about his one-man show. And take it away, Jay. I'm sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. No problem, Jason. So the guy, they knew him on the street. His nickname was Meaty. That's with a very delicate New York City nickname. Yeah, Meaty. I'm talking to Meaty. So anyway, Meaty calls me over to the window and he says, "I heard you. I like the way you play. My daughter's getting married next June. I want you to play for the reception. You want to do that?" And who says no to Meaty? You know what I mean? Put people up on meat hooks. You know what I mean? Oh yeah, sure I do. So I was a very nice, clean-cut young fellow in those days, and so he says, "Okay, he's going to pay you some of the money now. He'll give you half, and then we'll give you the other half when you guys finish playing next June." I said, "Okay, thank you." So now the guy pays me, and now I got something in my calendar for a wedding for next June in Brooklyn, as it turns out. So I changed completely between December of '65 and June of '66. I started dropping acid all the time, and my hair went down all the way down my back, and so I was not the same guy that he hired, and so come that June day, and I dropped a tab of my acid.
The day of the wedding.
Yeah, and I had some with me because you never know when you're going to need some.
Thank God.
And so I hired 3 guys to be my band: Tommy, Jimmy, and Wally. Now, these guys went to Long Island University. They were music majors, very proficient in their instruments. I liked all three of them, and none of them ever got high before. So, so I get out and I go into the hall, and the maitre d' says, "Set up right here." And there was a long hallway, and there was the stage right behind the front door. And I thought, this is weird, because there's a banquet room inside where the where the band should be playing. I don't know why we're playing here, but okay. So I set my drums up, and in comes the other three guys. And as they're setting up their stuff, Tommy says to me, "Hey, Jay, you got any pot?" And I said, "No, but I got something else."
Oh my God.
And so they said, "Yeah, what do you got?" I said, "Acid, LSD." Wow, Jay's got LSD. And so they said, "Can we have some?" And I said, "Sure. Yeah, I'm already high myself. Sure, you can."
Feeling
So
generous.
yeah, very generous guy I was. So I gave each of them a tab of this acid, and the first thing I because I was already high, and but I was rather used to it, and
This is during a mob wedding now.
yeah, it is. And so the first, I realized how bad I screwed up when the guitar player came up to me and he says, "Jay, black spaghetti, Jay, black spaghetti." And he was pointing to his wires, the curly hue guitar wires that went into the amp. And I went, "Oh, damn. Oh,
First timers.
oh, have I screwed up?" And so at this point, I can't find the bass player, but he's sitting on the steps of the stage off to the side. I said, "Jimmy, what are you doing?" And he says, "I'm thinking, man." Oh, good. Oh, good. Very good. "Where's Wally, the keyboard player?" Nobody knew where Wally was. So I said, "Oh, all right, I better go look for him myself." And I found Wally. They have in the banquet room, the Italians like to have things like ice sculptures of swans and things. He's hugging one of the ice sculptures, and I said, "Wally, come on, man, come on! You got to get away from that. You're soaking wet, man. Come on." "Oh, but this is beautiful. Look at it. Come on, Wally." At this point, the maitre d' says, "Okay, start the bands. The wedding party's coming in." So I bring Wally back to the stage, and I say, "Okay, the wedding march. Dan da dan 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 four dan da dan dan." In we go to the wedding march.
Happy birthday?
Yeah, that's what I did. I screwed up. I sang the wrong song. So in comes the wedding party, and there's like thousands of Sicilians marching past us, and we're playing Happy Birthday. And when I realized what I did, I started laughing. I was hysterical laughing. Tears are coming down my face. And the other guys, they don't know. They're on their first trip of acid, and they're playing along. Well, I realized how bad I screwed up when one of the wedding party was marching by, looking at me singing "Happy Birthday" to you, and they all go to the banquet room, and it must have gone on 30 choruses. So we finish our 30 choruses, and with the flourish, we finally get to end it. Bang. And there wasn't a sound in the whole place. They're all in the banquet room, and we're out in the hallway. And so I hear Meaty is now coming to the stage, and I was like, "Oh shit, oh Lord." So anyways, he comes up, he says, "Here's your check, now get the hell out of here. I don't know what you're on." So we did.
So it was obvious.
See, oh yeah, how could it not be? And so yeah, I mean, the piano player's soaking wet. The other guy's looking at his wires because he thinks it's spaghetti, and the other guy's thinking. So the piano player, Wally, says to me, I said, "Pack up your stuff. The gig's over." And he says, "How? We only played one song." I said, "Yeah, yeah, we did." And I said, and that's when I told him I sang the wrong song instead of the wedding march. I sang Happy Birthday to You, and Wally says, is it somebody's birthday? And I said, no, no, it's not. So that was my one and only time as the leader of a wedding band. And so
But it was the beginning of the life of a rock star, though.
yeah, sort of. These these
That he lived to tell the story after being in a room full of Sicilians and messing up is pretty impressive.
yeah. Thanks. Yeah. Well, it all worked out eventually, but that afternoon was funny.
Oh my God, what a great scene in a movie that would be.
Yeah. So that's
Imagine putting that scene in The Godfather. Essentially, there you go.
yeah. So I've got a lot of stories like that. All sorts of stuff.
Is that after? I mean, during your session drumming days, or is this the beginning of your career?
This was in June of '66. Oh no, I had been playing. I started singing on a radio show when I was 2.5. There used to be a chain of automats in New York City called Horn and Hardart automats, where you would go and if you'd see a piece of pie, you'd put in a quarter or 50 cents, whatever, and a little door, you could open it and pull out your piece of pie. You could see what you were going to eat before you ate it. And now there's one left, I'm told, in Manhattan, one Horn and Hardart automat.
Still one left?
One left. There used to be, I don't know, lots. But they had a radio show on NBC Radio called the Horn and Hardart Children's Hour. So here I was, little Jay David from Bayonne, New Jersey. And so I got to sing on that. So I got an early start on all of it. And so, no, I consider it one super broad stroke of my music stuff, and I'll never get away from it. I don't want to get away.
Once you're in, it's like the mafia. Once you're in for life.
Yeah.
You didn't quite make the cut at the wedding, I don't think.
No, they wouldn't. I wasn't a made man. I could have been a dead man, but I wasn't a made man. But anyway. I joined a drum and bugle corps because my sister was in a drum corps and St. Vincent's Cadets in Bayonne.
So your whole family was musical.
Oh yeah. Everybody's, we would, we'd have parties and people would come over and my sister, myself, my mother and my father, we'd sing 4-part harmony. So I did that before I ever did anything else. I just naturally gravitated towards harmony. And
so you didn't just play drums. You did it all.
I arranged all of the harmony parts for Dr. Hook for the 3 albums I was there, and played keyboards on about half of the songs. And
I just recently learned who wrote a lot of the songs for Dr. Hook.
I was shocked when I read it.
Shel
Silverstein.
Reading The Light in the Attic. What was the other one? Where the sidewalk ends, the giving tree. So when I saw that, I was like, wow, talk about very versatile.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of videos that are on YouTube of us, and they were actually taken on Shel's houseboat, and he was there, and he's in some of them with us. And we actually, the first thing we ever did was we did a movie with Dustin Hoffman, called "Who is Harry Kellerman and Why is he saying those terrible things about me?" And not a good movie, and certainly not the longest title. It should be in the Guinness Book of Titles. But anyway, we did the title song, and we were in the movie. We filmed at the Fillmore East, and in front of a Grateful Dead crowd, and so we nailed it on one take. And the scene is Shel and us are playing on the stage, and Dustin plays Georgie Soloway, and he had his hand on the pulse of the world. He was writing all the hit records at that time, and Shel spots him, and he points him up and brings him up to sing. So we were doing a song called Bunky and Lucille, which was about a junkie and his old lady. And so Dustin comes up and finishes the song with us. So that was fun. I like doing stuff like that. And but anyway, that's how Clive Davis came to hear us, because it came out on Columbia Masterworks, and they were wondering who who is this band? You know, so
You guys, you had something,
yeah, I guess so. I guess so.
and that was with Dr. Hook, right?
Yeah, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show.
And the Medicine Show. Yeah.
Yeah. After I left, the band dropped and the Medicine Show due to some legal problems that they had with their former drummer, me. And
Oh no.
oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. Moved from San Francisco to Nashville, and just a whole lot of stuff that I'm not going to cover in the book because I don't think that that's.
You want the good memories.
Yeah, I'm tentatively entitling the book "Don't Blame the Music" because I want the music to stand by itself. I don't want it's all too common that people get screwed. Me being another one of them, but
It's a tough industry.
Oh man, yeah, it is. Yeah,
I mean, any form of the arts, there's always the inner workings of it. There's always the business side.
yeah,
It's so discouraging.
yeah, it is. But I just kept on, and it was hard. It was hard being world famous one day and quitting. I got drunk and quit, and so that was I had to get used to coming down to earth again, because there was a time that I was the party. When you're 28, 29, or 30, and you have a #1 record in the world, you are the party.
Oh yeah. Did you ever make it to the cover of the Rolling Stone?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
You have a question. You have a question from Nancy Weems. Did he
Hello.
ever record in Muscle Shoals, Alabama?
Not with. I wasn't with the band at that time. I had already left, but the band did record in Muscle Shoals, I'm told.
Oh, so
yeah.
you didn't do the famous yacht rock song, the "Sharing the Night Together."
No, that's why after I left the band never recorded their own music again. They went to Nashville, hired studio musicians. Dennis would basically sing, and like "Sharing a Night Together." And wait, hang on, excuse me. Can I have a cough drop, Carol? Okay, all right, okay. So Dennis would sing these songs, and the band basically, to me, became their own cover band. You know what I mean? They'd go out and do what these guys did on a session.
There's a noticeable difference between the late '60s, early '70s to the mid '70s.
Yeah, well, I got out in '73, so that's when the whole direction changed, and then Ray and Dennis were singing the harmonies, but their harmonies were nowhere near, to my taste, what they were when I was arranging for them and stuff. So we had the original 5 of us had something going on, and not sure what it was, but we had something going on. Yeah. Yeah.
She's asking, what studio in Nashville? Are you from Nashville, Nancy? What did you record at a studio in Nashville?
You asking me?
Yeah. Oh yeah. She asked, what studio in Nashville?
Well, let's see. Bradley's Barn. I recorded with Brenda Lee before Dr. Hook, and I never recorded with Dr. Hook. I never even. I think they're still mad at me for quitting. But yeah. So yes, I recorded in Nashville, but not with Dr. Hook.
But you got to do what's best for you.
Yeah, indeed. So, but thank you. That was a good questions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Now Brenda Lee, Brenda Lee always. Whenever I hear the name Brenda Lee, it makes me think of an adverb because it ends in L. That's my years of playing Mad Libs.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Were you on the Christmas song? Did you play the famous?
No, Rocking Around a Christmas Tree. No, I was with her touring band, and I did Coming On Strong, which was not a hit for her, although she had a lifetime contract with Decca, and so she was set. But those were the days of, we would go, she carried 6 musicians, me being the drummer, and we'd go into supper clubs, which was in the mid 60s what all of the acts did, sort of like the Copacabana or Latin Quarter. And these were the concerts hadn't come to be yet. So the best height of entertainment was these stars would sing in supper clubs. And so we would go into each place we played. She would hire another, I think it was 17 players, including another drummer. Yeah,
Wow.
including another drummer, because I would come out and do a dance routine with her and sing background and do stuff. So we had another drummer also. So it was really good because we were coached by a fellow named Richard Barstow, and he was the director of the Ringling Brothers Circus for like 15, 20 years. And so it was a great education for me.
I'm just in awe of this life you've led. Oh my God.
Well, everything changed for me when I got sober, because I was getting loaded I never knew the party ended until I looked around
Well,
it.
you're hanging out with Dr. Hook. You're hanging out with David Crosby. I
Yeah,
can't imagine the word sober existed anywhere. In that.
it
Especially
didn't.
in that era.
Yeah, it didn't. It didn't. But
Oh
It
yeah, Nancy commented. She lives on the Alabama-Tennessee state line on Natchez Trace. Natchez Trace.
oh, Natchez Trace. Okay. We once played in Dothan, Alabama, and can I curse or not? Is that permitted?
Yeah.
I can't.
No, you can curse here.
Oh, good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Well, I'd like to ask.
No, I appreciate you asking.
Yeah. Well, I like to ask if I could say fuck before I say fuck. So so Sylvia's Mother. We got tired of singing Sylvia's Mother, so we decided we were going to sing Sylvia's Father Says, "You motherfucker, I'm going to kill you someday." And so we're in Dothan, Alabama, one lane in, one lane out. And they told us, if you guys are going to go and curse, because we had a reputation by this time of being kind of rowdy. And they said, if you guys are going to have obscenities, we're going to come up on stage and arrest y'all. And while everybody was thinking, "Oh, this is terrible," I'm thinking, "Whoa, what a great publicity thing! The cops come on, That's
Like the
right.
Lenny Bruce. music.
Yeah, that's where I was coming from. So we did. Sylvia's Father Said, "You motherfucker, I'm going to kill you someday." Sure enough, the cops come on stage on the right side of the stage. Our roadie takes us off on the left side of the stage, puts us in station wagons, and drives about half a mile. And they had a roadblock. Because we said "motherfucker," and we had to
Oh my
give them.
God.
We had to give him Rick, our rhythm guitar player. He went to jail that night. So
you had to sacrifice one of the guys.
yeah.
Here's our trade. Here you go.
He became the official band hostage. So. Oh my God! So that's what happened in Dothan. I can't help whenever I hear of Dothan, Alabama, or even Alabama, or even the Deep South. That's what I think of.
I don't blame you. Wow. I don't think they've changed much.
I think they've regressed if they've done anything. Oh my word!
We just lost half our listeners.
That should definitely go in the book.
Yeah. Oh, all these things are going in the book. They are.
Great.
They are. Yeah.
I'm sold to read this book, by the way. Just letting you know.
Okay. Well, then
Fun.
you guys should ask me to be a friend of yours on Facebook, because that's how I'll notify all of my friends, all my people that follow me. Follow my music. So, yeah. So ask me.
Yeah, that'd be great. I'm certainly, after hearing some of your stories, I'm certainly really interested.
Oh, we've been
good.
corrected. It's not Dothan, Alabama. It's Dothan.
Oh yeah, of
Um,
course. How silly of me. I'm sorry. I lost my head.
yes, you were in the Bible Belt. She said.
Yeah. Oh,
Oh,
deeply.
oh, there you go. That explains it.
Yeah. Yeah, Bible
Hmm.
Belt. Sure.
You know, your story almost reminds me of Alice's Restaurant,
Oh
getting in
yeah.
trouble for saying the motherfucker.
Oh. Oh.
Meanwhile, you'd be in prison with a bunch of really mean people.
Yeah. Yeah.
What are
Exactly.
you in for? Littering?
Yeah. 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 Got into an auto crash and hired Rudy Giuliani to represent me, and he pleaded it down to first degree murder.
I think that sounds accurate.
Yeah, indeed.
So,
So once I got sober, and I'm coming up on 15 years of sobriety, and
congratulations. That's great.
oh
Congratulations.
yeah, thanks. And so I decided I was going to take some acting lessons, and so I took a few, and I got cast as a retired piano player on this show called Glee. Do you remember Glee?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Really?
yeah.
Wow.
So it was called Old Dog, New Tricks, and it was me, Billy D. Williams, Tim Conway, and June Squibb, and we played the residents of this old age home and stuff. So that was a lot. That was a lot of fun to
Wow.
do. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks. Thank
Our
you.
commenter said congratulations as well.
Oh, that's very nice. You tell him I said it. Thank you.
Nancy, he says thank you.
Yeah, Nancy, he did. So, like I say, my I have 2 solo CDs out. And
Now, did I see you? Did you do the cover of the AARP?
yes, that's me. Yeah,
It's-
I rewrote it because I kept seeing. I remember when I saw Bob Dylan on the cover of AARP, and I thought, well, what the hell? Everything's changed, hasn't it? So I figured, yeah, well, everybody's getting old, so I'll rewrite it, and I did. Yes, yeah, that'd be me.
Yeah, anybody watching, you got to look that up.
And that's on my second solo CD. And the first one I played all the instruments. There's nobody else on it but me. I did all the instruments and all the voices, and so
Oh, that's cool.
yeah.
Unless you go to try to play, then you have to look like one of those.
Oh, the one-man band.
The one man
Yeah,
band.
yeah. The cymbals on my knees. And
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So, how else? What else can I say?
I'm just, I'm in awe of the whole rock star lifestyle. I got to experience it one time at the
Uh-huh.
Borgata when I played. The band asked me to play tambourine with them for "Don't Fear the Reaper" for their last song.
Oh,
They
good.
wrapped up, and these girls came up to me and said, "You guys are great." Like what? Oh, thanks.
Oh, yeah.
The
Thank
band
you.
left.
Yeah.
I had one of their schedules on me. They
Uh-huh.
said, "Where you playing next?" Oh, here. Let us buy you a drink. All right. I
Yeah.
went with it. So
Yeah.
it was before I was married. It was fine.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'll leave you with one more story if you don't mind. Is that
Yeah,
okay?
I would love
Definitely.
to.
Okay, all of these stories are going to be in there. Well, I'll read it to you. I have it.
Oh, excellent.
All right, I'll read it to you
We're gonna live reading from the book.
From the manuscript.
from my manuscript.
Oh wow.
Okay, here it is. When you had an album out in the marketplace in the 1970s, bands were usually sent out on the road, being the opening act for the headliner. That is, some band or singer who was well known. This is who the people paid their money to see, and you could very easily compare the opening acts to the Christians and the audience to the Lions. If they didn't know you, you were booed unmercifully. Things were thrown at you like paper cups filled with soda, etc. Cigarette packages, you get the picture. Well, this was the position we found ourselves in. There was an agent named Frankie Barcelona who had premier talent, and he was known for representing some of the top British bands of the day. So we had our first single out, and voila. Now we're opening for Emerson, Lake and Palmer in halls and hockey arenas around the eastern U.S. for the next 30 days. So here we are in Hartford, Connecticut, and we're given just enough time for 6 songs before the headliner comes on. 19,000 people screaming, "You suck," and "Get the fuck off the stage," and throwing all sorts of insults and soda containers and whatever else at us. Rock and roll can be hazardous to your health, if you get my drift here. Now, I always wrote the set list sequence of songs out for the band, always. Now, I don't remember what the first 5 songs were, truth be told, because I was too busy ducking the shit coming our way from the crowd. But then an amazing thing happened. As soon as we began our 6th and last song of the set, which happened to be our first single, as soon as the crowd heard the opening to Sylvia's Mother, they went crazy and they rushed the stage. Nobody was as surprised as we were because we didn't know if they even heard it or not. Little did we know that our song had been in the top 20 most requested songs in Hartford and was beginning to be a huge hit. So in our first show opening up for a world famous band, the Christians were a smash hit with the Lions. So backstage after our set, everyone was in shock at the amazing breakthrough. One of the stage managers came and invited us out of our dressing room, and we all went to a closed door. He said, "Watch this." And he opened the door, and there were a bunch of frantically screaming young ladies screaming for us. He closed the door very quickly, turned and said, "This looks like Beetle City." Well, I was flabbergasted at this turn of events. We were so busy that nobody said we had a hit record. What a way to find out. Now, not everybody was happy about this turn of events. Emerson, Lake and Palmer, to be specific. There wasn't anything we could do about it, but their band could. And frankly, I thought they'd want us to keep our set to the 6 songs we were allotted. You know, people were still throwing shit at us for 5 songs, but they completely freaked out at the 6th song, and we knew it. But instead, the following night, they cut us down only 4 songs.
Oh.
The night after that, they cut us down to 3 songs. We were happy as clams. 2 songs. The crowd screaming, "You suck," for 2 songs. "Get the fuck off the stage," and other such endearing cries. But we had an ace in the hole that was going to put us over big time, and the crowd didn't know it. They didn't recognize our name, Dr. Hook and the Medicine Show, but they sure as hell knew our song, Sylvia's Mother. So the next 29 days were pure magic. So that's that one.
I love that they cut the song down. I love that.
Yeah.
Sorry, but you know, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, they're a very talented band, but there's nothing sexual about them.
Yeah.
Dr. Hook, they've got the libido charging.
Well, you know, we wanted to see what they were doing, and so we would stand on the side of the stage to watch them. And Keith Emerson used to do this little bit. He'd stab his organ and twirl it around or something, and he after a couple of days of us watching this, because you know he did the exact same thing every night, nothing changed, and so he did. Carl Palmer and I got along really well. Their drummer, he was a sweet guy, but the other 2 were taking themselves really seriously, and so we're watching, and Keith Emerson stabs his organ. He's spinning around and spots us, and he says, "Get them the fuck out of here." And so we were not only asked to leave the stage, we were asked to leave the side of the stage where nobody could, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. But a lot of those guys were really cool too. There was a band called Mott the Hoople.
Oh yeah.
And I forgot what the lead guitar player, Mick Ronson, is that his name? I don't know. Anyway.
Oh my God, I knew that. And I'm disappointed in myself for not remembering.
That's okay.
Did David Bowie started that band? Did he?
I
he had something to do with it. Okay,
you're asking the wrong guy. I don't know, but anyway, platform shoes were the deal in those days.
Yes.
And this lead guitar player had these huge platform shoes that were, and the heels were plexiglass, and inside them was a goldfish swimming around.
That existed?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I mean, you see it in movies and stuff and don't think anything about it, but that's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So and me and my naivety, I said to the guy, "Hey, what do you feed those?" You know, I was, you know, you want to take care of your fish, and he didn't know. I don't know, Mike. What do we feed this fish in here? You know, so. But that was crazy. It was crazy lifestyles, you know, stuff like that. So So there you have it. You got me doing something I've never done before, which is read from the book itself. And
I want to hear more. I totally want to hear more. Please keep working on that book.
okay,
Yes.
thanks for the opportunity to have me read it.
Oh, I'd love it. If I want to hear more than everybody else does too. A lot.
Yeah. It's a special sideshow.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I can write about the the twins I woke up with in Buffalo, New York, in a barn.
God bless you, sir.
Now that's the story I want to hear.
Yeah. Oh man, it was peppermint schnapps night for 25 cents.
Oh, okay. I see how the story begins.
Yeah. And I don't know.
Sex, drugs, and rock and roll. You did it all.
$3.75. I was wasted. And next thing I know, it was the next morning, and I woke up next to these two girls, and we were all naked on straw. And I had no idea. I had no idea how I got there. And and one looks at me, and her teeth. She could have eaten a banana without opening up her mouth. That's how big her buck teeth were, And I went, oh. And then I looked over at the other one, and she was the same thing. Twins. Oh, just craziness.
That is a beautiful story.
That just verifies alcohol makes everything look beautiful.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I'm surprised I didn't wake up in Vegas with them. That would have really hurt.
Oh, Vegas and married.
Especially if you went to bed in Buffalo with twins and ended up in Vegas.
Yeah, yeah.
You could have been married.
Yeah, I could have. It would have been the quickest marriage ever. A double marriage. How do you marry twins?
I think it's a 2-for-1 deal, honestly.
Yeah, a twofer. But anyways, there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed the.
Oh, that was
You
so
are
entertaining.
Fantastic.
Oh, thanks.
I can't wait to tell my mom, because I told her about this and I said, Dr. Hook. She goes, Dr. Hook, seriously? I was like, yeah. I mean, 'cause I won't give my mother's age away, but she grew up listening to that music, and she was just so excited.
Well, you tell her I said thank you.
I certainly will.
Okay. And will I get a copy of this?
Absolutely. Yeah, it's going to be. You can watch it on. I'll send it to you on YouTube.
Okay.
It's going to be available. The audio will be available on Spotify and Audible and everywhere you can hear podcasts.
Is this live on Facebook now?
We're also live right now, and our commenter Nancy said it was fun.
Oh, I see. Well, hello, friends. Hi. Yeah. So there you go. You guys are great.
That was magical.
You are great. That was awesome.
Oh, thanks.
I love the stories. I'm cracking up just thinking about them.
Yeah, there's a lot of them.
Real quick before we let you go.
Yeah.
Because I'm in the comedy world, but I have a day job which I don't talk about. But I need benefits and I have a mortgage.
Yeah, sure. I get it.
When you were talking about being on Burt Reynolds' bus,
yeah,
doing lines and watching pornography and having everything at your disposal in there, I thought this is why you got to do what you love. Kids, follow your dreams, and you can end up like this.
Yeah.
It's not really work if you enjoy doing it.
Yeah. Well, I went from selling 40 million records to being homeless, and got sober, came back, and I bought my home here in Los Angeles 10 years ago. So, I mean, it's not all fun and games, but again, like I say, I like to point. I always like positivity. I always like to point in the direction of humor. Humor is what I also live for. Humor and harmony.
It's healing. Humor is healing.
Yeah, it sure is.
Yeah, laughter's the best medicine, they say.
That a girl. Yep, that's right. That's right.
Well, we definitely had a lot of medicine tonight. So.
Oh, great!
Yeah,
thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time, and thank you. Congratulations on being in that upwards path you're on, man.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Well, I can't right now because of COVID, but I go to the women's prison and speak to the women that are trying to get sober in prison too. So you pay it forward, you know, and it's how I get back, by giving, and so it's great. Getting sober changed my life completely, and
Amazing.
yeah,
It really goes to show, because you do have a lot of people out there that just struggle to do it. But then when you have people like you with great, amazing stories, it makes them realize I can do it too.
Well, I heard the great, amazing stories when I first got sober, and you know, I got high for like 50 years, you know. So and it never occurred to me. Nobody ever said to me, "Jay, why don't you stop, or why don't you get sober?" Nobody would have the guts to say that to me. But but once I did it, that's why I came down from Marin County down to LA. It was to go into rehab, and stranger in a strange land, I'll tell you that. But people would come into the rehab I was in Pasadena, and they would tell their stories, and I began. At first I was suspicious, and then I began to be really intrigued by, well, how can a guy be living and eating out of a dumpster, and then the following year going to school to be an architect, and now he's designing buildings? All that happened from just not getting high, you know. So I began to become intrigued and curious. I guess the curiosity outweighed the desperation, which is very important. People say to me that they're desperate to get sober, and I tell them that desperation is a gift. Don't forget that desperation, because when you get sober, you're going to rely on how you felt right now. And so that desperation, you keep that with you, because that is a pearl of great price. You remember how low you can go and how far down you can get, and thank God and be grateful for your sobriety. So those are the things that I do these days. Now I speak at a lot of meetings, although I haven't spoken at meetings I did. I spoke at one in July via Zoom, and you know, I love Zoom because the commute's great. I go from my bedroom to my living room. Yeah.
Don't even have to put pants on.
Yeah, that's right. How do you know I even have them on now?
You don't have to prove it. I'm going to take your word for it.
Okay.
I'm looking at the clock, and Jay, thank you so much again. And
You're quite welcome.
You're ever on the East Coast, you always got a stage over here, man.
Oh, that's wonderful. Thank you. God bless you
Thanks
both.
so much, Jay.
You too.
Okay. Good night.
Thanks for watching.
Sure.
And yeah, you take care of yourself.
Okay.
Bye, everyone. Thanks again, Jay.
Bye, everyone.
You're
Sorry we
welcome.
didn't get to all the comments. Take care, everybody. Thanks for watching.